Sagittarius. When the night sky glows, your heart finally speaks. There are nights when the universe feels alive, when the sky does not simply hang above you but radiates with a glow that stirs something deep within. For Sagittarius, these luminous nights are more than beautiful. They are transformative. The glowing sky mirrors your own inner fire, reflecting truths you've held in silence, feelings you've buried beneath duty, fear, or distraction. And in that glow, your heart finally speaks. You, Sagittarius, are often the one who moves forward with strength, laughter, and courage. You are the archer who points toward the horizon, chasing wisdom, adventure, and expansion. Yet beneath your confident stride lies a heart that longs to be heard. Sometimes you silence it, convincing yourself that practicality must lead the way. Other times you drown it out with busyness, fearing what it might reveal if you truly listened. But when the night sky glows, all masks fall away. The universe invites you into stillness, reminding you that the most important voice in your life has always been your own heart. In this season, Sagittarius, cosmic light is not shining on you by accident. It is asking you to pause, to feel, and to listen. Your heart is ready to speak, about love, about purpose, about the truth of what you want and who you are becoming. Let the glowing sky be your mirror, your guide, your sanctuary. And if these words awaken something within you, if you sense that your time has come to listen more deeply, I invite you to like, share, and subscribe, so we may walk this path of illumination together. Gate 1: The silence before the heart speaks. Sagittarius, your life has always been full of movement. You chase adventures, knowledge, and horizons that others only dream about. Yet even the archer must sometimes lower the bow, stand still, and listen. The glowing night sky is the universe's reminder that beneath your fiery drive lies a quieter wisdom, the voice of your heart, waiting patiently to be heard. For too long, you may have overlooked this voice. You are known for your optimism, your ability to adapt, and your gift of carrying others with your laughter. But optimism can become a mask when it is used to silence the parts of you that are hurting, longing, or uncertain. The truth is, Sagittarius, that the moments you feel most restless are often the times when your heart is whispering the loudest. The glowing night sky mirrors this paradox. By day, the sun blazes and the world is noisy, distracting. But when night comes, silence expands, and in that stillness the stars appear. They have always been there, yet you can only see them in the quiet darkness. In the same way, your heart has always been speaking. You simply need the stillness to notice. Think of the great poet Rainer Maria Rilke, who once wrote, "The only journey is the one within." His words echo the truth that Sagittarius must embrace now. That all your outward seeking, all your adventures, are ultimately mirrors of the journey toward your own heart. The glowing sky is not a call to look outward but inward, to recognize that the vastness above reflects the vastness within. Perhaps you have been silencing your heart in subtle ways. Maybe you've stayed in a relationship where your spirit feels small, convincing yourself it is good enough. Maybe you've held on to a career that pays the bills but starves your creativity, telling yourself that dreams are luxuries. Maybe you've hidden your vulnerability behind a cheerful smile, afraid that others could not handle the depth of your feelings. These are not failures, they are human habits. But now, as the sky glows with cosmic fire, your heart is asking for honesty. It wants to be heard, even if what it speaks disrupts the comfort of your routines. Consider Oprah Winfrey, whose early life was filled with hardship, abuse, and obstacles. For years, her external world told her she was unworthy. Yet she chose to listen to the deeper voice within, a voice that insisted she was meant for something greater. That decision to honor her heart did not happen in a moment of noise but in moments of silence, when the truth inside her became impossible to ignore. Listening to her heart led her not only to personal freedom but also to inspiring millions. Sagittarius, your own heart carries that kind of secret wisdom. You may fear what it will reveal. Perhaps that you must let go of something comfortable, take a risk, or admit a longing you've hidden. But the glow of the night sky tells you it is safe. Safe to admit what you truly desire. Safe to grieve what you've outgrown. Safe to trust that the universe will meet your honesty with guidance. The silence before the heart speaks is sacred. It is the pause between breaths, the hush before dawn, the stillness of standing under the glowing sky. In that silence, clarity forms. And when your heart finally speaks, it will not shout. It will simply tell the truth. And truth, Sagittarius, is the one thing your soul has always craved. This is the invitation of Gate 1. To embrace stillness, to let the glowing night sky remind you that silence is not emptiness but space for truth to emerge. Your heart is waiting, and the universe is aligning to make sure you finally hear it. Gate 2, the language of the heart. Sagittarius, once silence has created the space, your heart begins to speak. But unlike the mind, which speaks in logic, plans, and certainty, the heart has its own language. It speaks through feelings, intuition, longings, and the ache of what has been left unexpressed. To truly hear it, you must learn to translate its whispers into truth. This is not easy, for in a world that glorifies rationality, the heart is often dismissed as unreliable or naive. Yet for you, Sagittarius, the heart is not weakness, it is compass. Your journey has always been guided by questions. Why am I here? What am I meant to do? Where do I belong? The answers your mind gives may shift with time, but the answers your heart carries remain steady, like stars that never move from their place. The glowing night sky reflects this. Though clouds may pass and constellations may rise and set, their positions remain constant, anchoring travelers for centuries. In the same way, your heart's truth has always been there. It only waits for you to notice. The language of the heart often begins with longing. You may feel restless in a job, not because it is bad, but because your soul yearns for creativity. You may feel unsatisfied in a relationship, not because there is no love, but because your spirit craves depth and authenticity. Longing is not something to fear. It is the first word of the heart's language, telling you where freedom waits. Another word of the heart's language is joy. Not the fleeting joy of distraction, but the deep joy that arises when you are in alignment, when you are creating, exploring, loving, or learning in ways that feel expansive. This joy is a signal that you are walking in the right direction. Think of children playing. They follow joy instinctively, without questioning whether it is practical. As adults, we lose this trust, but Sagittarius, you are being called to return to it. Joy is the universe's way of saying, this is your path. The heart also speaks through pain. When you ignore your truth for too long, your heart will tighten, ache, or rebel. This pain is not punishment, it is guidance. It says, something is misaligned. Just as physical pain tells us when a bone is broken, emotional pain tells us when we are living outside of our authenticity. For you, Sagittarius, pain is often disguised as restlessness. You feel trapped, uninspired, or disconnected. That is not failure. It is your heart's alarm, reminding you to come home to yourself. Consider the story of Vincent van Gogh, whose heart spoke through art even as his life was filled with turmoil. He painted the language of his soul in swirling skies and luminous stars, expressing what words could not. Though misunderstood in his lifetime, his willingness to let his heart speak left a legacy that continues to move millions. Van Gogh's story shows us that the heart's language may not always be recognized immediately by the world, but it always carries eternal resonance. For Sagittarius, the challenge is trust. You may hear your heart say, leave this path, but your mind counters, it's too risky. You may feel your heart whisper, love this person, while fear warns, what if I get hurt? Yet the glowing night sky is your reminder. Trust the language of your heart more than the noise of your doubts. The universe does not glow to confuse you. It glows to confirm that your heart is a faithful guide. How do you practice this trust? Begin by noticing your body's response to choices. When you imagine saying yes to something aligned, does your chest expand, your breath deepen? When you imagine saying yes to something misaligned, does your body contract, your stomach tighten? This is your heart's language expressed physically. Listen closely, it is always speaking. The language of the heart is also symbolic. Dreams, synchronicities, repeated signs. These are not coincidences. They are the universe translating the heart's voice into images you can recognize. Pay attention when certain symbols keep appearing, when songs seem to speak directly to you, when the same message arrives from different sources. These are confirmations, glowing like stars in your personal sky. Sagittarius, the heart's language is not always easy to follow, but it is always worth it. It speaks in whispers, longings, joy, pain, and symbols, but its message is steady. Live true. And when you listen, you discover that your heart has never been your enemy. It has always been your most faithful guide. This is the invitation of Gate 2, to honor the language of your heart, to translate its whispers into action, and to trust that when the night sky glows, it is confirming that your heart is finally ready to be heard. Gate 3. The courage to speak your heart's truth. Sagittarius, there is a sacred moment when the voice of your heart grows too strong to ignore. You can sense it in the glow of the night sky, in the restlessness of your spirit, in the quiet ache that whispers, "There is more." Listening is the first step, but the greater act of courage is to speak your truth out loud into the world, where it can be seen, heard, and felt. For you, this act is more than expression, it is liberation. For years, you may have hidden behind roles, expectations, or the need to keep the peace. Perhaps you have been the cheerful one who never shows sadness, the strong one who never admits vulnerability, or the dependable one who always sacrifices personal dreams for others. These roles have protected you, but they have also silenced you. The glowing sky is now your mirror, reminding you that you were not born to live muted. You were born to speak. Speaking your truth begins with honesty to yourself. Admit what you truly feel, even if it disrupts the image you've projected. If you are unhappy, say it. If you are in love, express it. If you are ready for change, claim it. Honesty is the bridge between silence and freedom. Without it, you cannot move forward. With it, you set into motion a chain of transformations that can ripple through every area of your life. Consider the story of Rosa Parks. For years, she carried the quiet truth that the injustice of segregation was unbearable. On one December evening in Montgomery, Alabama, she chose to act on that truth by refusing to give up her seat. It was not a loud speech or a dramatic gesture. It was a simple act of honesty to her own heart. Yet her courage sparked a movement that changed history. Rosa's story shows us that speaking your truth does not always require shouting. Sometimes it is the quiet, firm declaration of "no more" that shifts the world. For Sagittarius, the risk of speaking your truth often lies in fearing rejection. You wonder, will they still love me if I show who I really am? Will they understand if I reveal what I truly want? Yet the greater risk is in silence. Silence erodes the soul. It builds resentment, it breeds disconnection. It keeps you chained to a life that looks alive on the outside but feels empty within. The stars glow to remind you that your voice is not a threat. It is a gift. Speaking your truth also means embracing vulnerability. When you reveal your heart, you open yourself to misunderstanding or criticism. But you also open yourself to intimacy, connection, and freedom. Vulnerability is not weakness. It is proof of courage. It is standing under the glowing sky with nothing to hide and saying, "This is who I am." And Sagittarius, the world needs this authenticity. Your fire inspires others, but your vulnerability heals them. Practical steps can help. Start small. Speak your truth in safe spaces with trusted friends or in journaling. Notice how your body responds when you finally release what you've been holding inside. Often, the act of expression itself brings relief, even before the outcome unfolds. Over time, expand this courage into relationships, work, and dreams. Let your truth shape the life you are building. The glowing sky serves as a reminder that truth, like starlight, travels far and endures. A star may burn millions of years before its light reaches your eyes, yet that light still transforms you. In the same way, the truth you speak may take time to ripple outward, but it will always make an impact. Sagittarius, your heart has waited long enough. The time has come not only to feel but to declare. To speak with clarity, with compassion, and with conviction. This is the courage of Gate 3, to move beyond silence, to embody your authenticity, and to trust that when your heart speaks, the universe listens, and so do those who are meant to walk beside you. Gate 4, living aligned with the voice of your heart. Sagittarius, once your heart has spoken, the final step is to live by its truth. Many hear their heart, some even speak it, but only a few have the courage to shape their entire life around it. The glowing night sky above is urging you now. Let your actions match your inner voice. This is the path of alignment, and it is where freedom, joy, and meaning finally converge. Living aligned with your heart does not mean every day will be easy. It means every day will be real. You will still face challenges, but they will refine you instead of draining you. Because your choices will flow from authenticity rather than fear. When your life reflects your truth, even pain carries purpose. Without alignment, success feels hollow. With alignment, even small steps feel fulfilling. Think of Malala Yousafzai, who heard her heart say that education was a right worth fighting for. She did not keep that truth hidden. She lived it, even in the face of danger. Today her life is a testament to alignment. A young woman who risked everything to remain true to her inner voice. For you, Sagittarius, your truth may not be global activism, but the principle is the same. When you live aligned, your life becomes larger than comfort. It becomes legacy. Living aligned requires discernment. Ask yourself, does this relationship honor who I am? Does this career nourish my spirit? Does this routine reflect my values? If the answer is no, alignment means having the courage to change. This might mean ending what no longer fits, starting something new, or simply shifting the way you show up. Alignment is less about perfection and more about integrity. The integrity to let your choices reflect your essence. Sagittarius, your heart thrives in expansion. Living aligned may mean pursuing adventures that others do not understand, saying yes to opportunities that scare you, or building a life that defies convention. The glow of the sky reminds you that your path was never meant to follow the ordinary. Your alignment is your gift, and when you honor it, you light the way for others who are still afraid to listen to their own hearts. Consider Steve Jobs. He once said, "Have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become." His life was not free of storms. He faced rejection, failure, and setbacks, but because he lived aligned, his work reshaped entire industries. His story proves that when you commit to your heart's vision, the universe conspires to support you. Practical alignment begins in small choices. When your heart whispers to rest, allow it. When it nudges you toward creativity, honor it. When it insists you leave behind something that no longer feeds you, trust it. Over time, these small acts accumulate, reshaping your entire life. Alignment is not a single decision. It is a practice repeated daily, until your outer life reflects your inner truth. Living aligned also transforms relationships. When you show up authentically, you attract people who resonate with your truth and naturally release those who do not. This can feel painful at first, but it creates space for deeper, more genuine connections. Authenticity always calls authenticity. By living aligned, you not only free yourself, you give others permission to do the same. Sagittarius, this is the gift of the glowing night sky. A reminder that when light breaks through the darkness, it does not ask permission. It simply shines. Your heart's truth is that light. Living aligned means no longer dimming it, no longer hiding, no longer betraying yourself for approval. It means becoming the radiant, expansive soul you were always meant to be. This is the essence of Gate 4. To let the night sky's glow remind you that your heart's voice is sacred, and then to live each day in alignment with it. For when you do, Sagittarius, your life itself becomes a constellation, guiding others who are searching in the dark. Sagittarius, the journey you have walked beneath the glowing sky has not been about stars alone. It has been about you. The universe reflected its brilliance so that you could remember your own. In the silence you discovered your heart's whispers. In its language you found direction. In the courage to speak you found freedom. And in alignment you discovered the kind of life that is not only lived, but deeply felt. Your heart has always longed to be heard. And now, under this radiant cosmic glow, it finally speaks. Its voice is not dramatic. It is steady, true, undeniable. It tells you that your worth does not depend on approval, that your path is not meant to be ordinary, and that your spirit was born to expand. The glow of the sky is simply the mirror. The real light is within you. As you move forward, remember this. Listening to your heart is not a one-time act. It is a lifelong practice. The sky will glow again, the stars will whisper again, and each time you will be called to return to your truth. Trust that even when clouds cover the night, your heart is still speaking, guiding, and waiting for you to follow. Sagittarius, your fire is a gift. When you honor it, you not only liberate yourself, you inspire others to find their own glow. If these words have touched you, if they remind you of the voice within that is ready to be heard, I invite you to like, share, and subscribe, so we may continue this journey together. The night sky will glow again, but this time, Sagittarius, so will you.